Imagine a time when the holiest sanctuary of Islam was stormed, pilgrims were scattered in terror, and the most sacred object in the Muslim world disappeared into the desert. Imagine the spiritual heart of a civilization shaken not by foreign invaders, but by believers who claimed they were purifying the faith itself. This is not legend. This is the story of the Qarmatians, one of the most radical and astonishing movements in medieval Islamic history. In the late 9th century, the once mighty Abbasid Caliphate was weakening. Political fragmentation, economic inequality, and regional rebellions were spreading across its vast territories. In this atmosphere of unrest, a revolutionary Ismaili Shia movement began to take shape in eastern Arabia. Its followers would become known as the Qarmatians. Their power base emerged in the fertile oasis region of Al-Ahsa, an area that included parts of modern-day Bahrain. In 899 CE, under the leadership of Abu Sa'id al-Jannabi, the Qarmatians seized control of the region and declared independence from Abbasid authority. But this was not just a political rebellion, it was an ideological revolution. The Qarmatians denounced what they saw as corruption and hypocrisy within the Islamic establishment. They criticized the concentration of wealth among elites and promoted a radically egalitarian vision of society. Many historical sources describe their system as communal. Land and resources were managed collectively, wealth redistribution was practiced, and social hierarchies were deliberately reduced. In a world defined by aristocracy and rigid class structures, this was extraordinary. Their state grew powerful. Controlling key trade routes along the Persian Gulf, they taxed caravans, fortified their cities, and built a disciplined military force. For decades, they were one of the most feared powers in Arabia. Caliphs watched them with alarm. Merchants feared their raids. Neighboring rulers negotiated cautiously. Then came the event that would define them forever. In 930 CE, during the annual Hajj pilgrimage, Qarmatian forces under Abu Tahir al-Jannabi marched on the holy city of Mecca. The attack was swift and devastating. Pilgrims were killed, the sacred well of Zamzam was reportedly desecrated, and chaos swept through the sanctuary. But their most shocking act was yet to come. They removed the black stone from the Kaaba. The black stone, revered for centuries as a sacred relic, was carried away to Al-Ahsa. For over 20 years, it remained outside Mecca. The symbolism was immense. The Qarmatians argued that true faith did not depend on ritual or sacred objects. To them, the Hajj had become a hollow practice, corrupted by political authority. Across the Muslim world, outrage and disbelief spread. From North Africa to Central Asia, scholars and rulers condemned the act. The Abbasid Caliphate was humiliated. The spiritual unity of the Islamic world seemed fractured. Yet the Qarmatians were not mere destroyers. They believed they were ushering in a new divine era. Their theology included esoteric interpretations of Scripture and a belief in hidden knowledge accessible only to the initiated. At times, their leaders even expressed messianic expectations. They saw themselves as reformers, correcting what they believed to be centuries of deviation. For decades they held their ground. Their desert strongholds were difficult to conquer. Their economy, based on agriculture and control of trade routes, sustained them. But revolutionary movements are rarely immune to internal tension. Over time, divisions emerged. Economic pressures mounted. New regional powers rose in opposition. In 951 CE, after negotiations and likely significant payment, the black stone was finally returned to Mecca damaged, broken into pieces, but restored to its place in the Kaaba, where it remains today. By 1077, Qarmatian political control in Al-Ahsa had ended. Tribal forces and emerging Sunni dynasties dismantled their state. Their radical experiment in communal governance and religious dissent gradually faded from the political stage, and yet their story never truly disappeared. They remain one of the only movements in Islamic history bold enough to directly challenge both the political authority and the spiritual symbolism of the Abbasid order. They questioned ritual, hierarchy, and wealth inequality in an era when such challenges could mean annihilation. To their enemies, they were heretics, and criminals. To modern historians, they represent a complex revolutionary phenomenon, part religious reformers, part social radicals, part political insurgents. The Black Stone returned. The pilgrimage continued. Empires endured. But for nearly a century, from the oasis of Al-Ahsa to the sacred sanctuary of Mecca, the Qarmatians proved something extraordinary, that even in the most sacred landscapes, revolution can rise from within and shake the world to its spiritual core.